You keep calling yourself lazy because it's the kindest lie you have. Lazy means you could do it, you just don't feel like it. And that story protects something soft underneath. The truth waiting under that word is heavier. You're scared, and lazy is the costume fear wears when it doesn't want to be recognized. Watch what actually happens when you procrastinate. You sit down to do the thing, your chest tightens for half a second. Then your hand reaches for your phone before you've even decided to. That gap between intention and the phone is where the fear lives. You never see it because it moves faster than your awareness. So you reach the end of the day with the task undone and grab the only explanation that doesn't sting. I'm just lazy. But lazy people feel relief when they avoid something. You feel dread. A genuinely lazy person lounges in the hammock and sleeps like a baby. You lie awake at 2 a.m, rehearsing everything you skipped. That's something with teeth. Fear does a thing nobody warned you about. It disguises itself as comfort. The couch isn't calling you because rest feels good. The couch is calling you because the couch can't reject you. The unwritten novel can't be reviewed badly. The unsent application can't come back as a no. The business you never start can't fail in front of everyone who watched you start it. Avoidance feels like weakness, yet it's doing a job. It's keeping you safe from a verdict, and your brain treats that verdict like a physical threat. A bad grade, a public flop, a dream that dies in daylight. To the part of you that's keeping score, those land like danger. So it does what it was built to do. It freezes you. It hands you a smaller, safer task. It convinces you that reorganizing your desk is suddenly urgent. You think you're choosing comfort. You're obeying an alarm you can't hear. So what changes if you stop calling it laziness? Everything. Because you fix the two problems in opposite directions. You fix laziness with pressure. Alarms, punishments. More discipline, harder grinding. If your real problem is fear, that pressure pours fuel on it. Every productivity hack you've ever quit, you quit because it treated a frightened person like a defective one. You need to stop running from the verdict. Think about the last time you avoided something important. Now ask a sharper question. What were you afraid would happen if you tried and it went badly? Sit in that for a second, because the answer is almost never about the task itself. It's about what the failure would say about you. That you're not smart enough. That everyone was right. That the version of yourself you've been quietly hoping for doesn't actually exist. That's the real weight. And it's why willpower keeps failing you. You've been swinging a hammer at a wound. You add more discipline, the wound gets angrier, and you decide the problem must be that you're broken. You're not broken. You've just been treating the wrong diagnosis with brutal medicine, then blaming the patient when it doesn't take. There's a woman I'll call Maya because I've met 100 versions of her. She wanted to be a photographer for 9 years. 9 years of I'm too lazy to build a portfolio. Then, one honest afternoon, she admitted the truth. She was terrified that if she tried seriously and wasn't good, she'd lose the one beautiful thing she still got to dream about. The fantasy was safe. The attempt was dangerous. Protecting the dream from reality was the whole game. You probably have a Maya-shaped thing too. A project you call lazy that's really just precious to you and fragile and unprotected the moment you actually try. Notice the pattern in what you avoid. You don't procrastinate on everything equally. You answer easy emails fast, keep your habits logged in home, where a streak counter holds you honest down to the day, link in the description. Knock out the small chores that carry no weight. The things that pile up are the things that matter most, the ones tied to who you're hoping to become. Strange, isn't it? The more something means to you, the harder it is to start. That's the fingerprint of fear, not sloth. Sloth is lazy about everything. Fear is selective. It only guards the doors that lead somewhere you desperately want to go. And the cost of that guarding compounds quietly. A week of avoidance feels like nothing. A year of it becomes a personality. You start introducing yourself by what you almost did, the screenplay you keep meaning to write, the gym membership you pay for and dodge. Each skipped attempt seems small in the moment, but they stack into a story you tell about yourself, and that story hardens into a wall. The danger was never one wasted afternoon. It's that the afternoons start agreeing with each other. Here's where it turns. Naming the fear doesn't make it vanish, it makes it workable. You can't negotiate with a word like lazy. There's nothing there to talk to. But fear responds to two things, and you already have access to both. The first is shrinking the threat. Fear inflates the stakes until every task feels like a final exam on your worth. So you make the task too small to be scary. Forget. Write the book, open the document, and write one ugly sentence you're allowed to delete. Forget get fit. Put on the shoes and stand outside for 60 seconds. This sounds insulting to your ambition. It works precisely because it slips under the alarm. The alarm only fires for things big enough to threaten you. Make the move small enough, and you walk right past the guard. The second is changing what failure means. Right now, in your head, a failed attempt is a verdict on you as a human being. That setting keeps you frozen, so you change it. A failed attempt becomes information. It's the cost of finding out. The photographer who shoots 1,000 bad frames is 1,000 frames closer to the one that lands. Every person you admire has a graveyard of attempts behind them that you never see. You're comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel, then calling the gap laziness. Let me steel man the other side, because you're already thinking it. Sometimes you're just tired. Sometimes you genuinely need rest, and dragging fear into it would be cruel and wrong. That's real. Burnout is a cost, not a character flaw. And exhaustion is its own honest signal. So here's the test that tells them apart. Rest leaves you lighter, avoidance leaves you heavier. After true rest, you feel restored. After avoidance, you feel that familiar 2 a.m. acid. If the thing you call rest keeps making you feel worse, it was hiding wearing rest's clothes. And the fear itself is rational, so I won't insult you by pretending otherwise. Some of you carry real weight that no mindset fixes. People did mock your early attempts. Some dreams are long shots, and some doors stay shut for reasons that have nothing to do with your courage. Pretending willpower beats every wall is its own kind of lie. But watch what fear does even there. It makes you quit before you find out which walls were real and which were painted on. You can't tell the difference from the couch. You learn it by walking up and pushing. There's one more trap worth naming because it's the sneakiest of all. Sometimes the fear hides inside preparation. You don't avoid the dream openly. You research it. You buy the courses, read the books, plan the perfect launch, wait for the perfect conditions. It feels productive. It feels like progress. But planning forever is just avoidance in a nicer outfit, because a plan can't be judged the way a real attempt can. The moment you act, the world gets to respond. So you stay in the lab, endlessly preparing, telling yourself you're almost ready. You're not almost ready. You're afraid, and you found a respectable place to hide. The way out is humbler than you'd like. It's one small, visible, unprepared act done while you still feel unready. So push on something today. Something small enough that the alarm stays quiet. This is the part that rewires you over time. Every time you do the scary small thing and survive, and you will survive, you teach the frightened part of you a new fact. The verdict didn't come. The world kept turning. The dream stayed intact on contact with reality. Do that enough times, and fear loosens its grip on the wheel, because you've shown it, with evidence, that the thing it dreads keeps failing to arrive. You don't argue fear away. you out-experience it. And slowly, the word changes. You stop reaching for lazy because you finally see what was actually there. A frightened part of you trying clumsily to keep you safe from a pain that felt unsurvivable. That part is on your side. It just never had better information. Your whole job now is to give it some. Go back to that thing you've been avoiding, the one you've been beating yourself up over for weeks, maybe years. Drop the word lazy for good. It was inaccurate, and it was unkind. Replace it with the truer sentence. This matters to me, and that's exactly why it scares me. Feel how different that lands. One makes you a sluggish failure. The other makes you a person standing at the edge of something they care about, which is the only place worth standing. You were never lazy. You were guarding something tender with the only shield you had. Set the shield down. Write the ugly sentence. Send the trembling email. Stand outside in your shoes for 60 seconds. Do it while the fear is still there, because waiting for it to leave is just avoidance with better branding. The fear gets a vote. From today, it stops getting the keys.